Japan Unsolved Mysteries. 1. A dead body stuck in the septic tank. Japan's sewage system of old is nowhere near the technologically advanced toilets you see today. Back then, it merely comprised a septic tank which stored human excretion for later transportation. Japan's sewage system of old is nowhere near the technologically advanced toilets you see today. Back then, it merely comprised a septic tank which stored human excretion for later transportation. However, on 28 February 1989, a female teacher in Miyakoji Village, Fukushima, found more than just human waste in her single-room dormitory's U-shaped septic tank. In fact, she found a human body. The body belonged to a topless man. He was found in a fetal position hugging his own clothes, with his face facing the toilet hole. A shoe was placed beside his head, while his other shoe was found at a faraway river bank. Because of how small the openings of the septic tank were, the police had difficulty retrieving the body, to the point where they had to cut the septic tank in order to do so. The victim was later identified as the 26-year-old Naoyuki Kano. He was reported missing on 24 February, 4 days before the discovery of his body. Reports revealed that he died on 26 February. In the end, the case was dismissed as a case of peeping. Police believe that Naoyuki entered the septic tank to look at women relieving themselves, only to accidentally die of hypothermia. However, many villagers found the verdict unacceptable, as the victim, who participated actively in many village events, was known to be an amiable person. Moreover, given his position in the tank, it is likely that the man entered head first. There was no way he could have turned around within the cramped 125 cm by 47 cm tank. Logically, this is an unnatural way for someone to enter a septic tank voluntarily. The other piece of evidence pointing towards foul play was his shoe, which was found far away from the crime scene. 2. The Coca-Cola murders. This case, which took place in 1977, involved cyanide-laced Coca-Cola, and was thus dubbed the Coca-Cola murders. On 3 January 1977, a high school student found an unattended bottle of Coca-Cola at a public payphone near Shinagawa Station. He consumed the poison drink at 1 a.m. and was rushed to the hospital. He eventually succumbed to cyanide poisoning. On that same morning, a 46-year-old worker consumed a similarly poisoned drink and eventually passed away too. His body was found 600 meters away from where the student found the first bottle of Coca-Cola. The police quickly sprang into action and put up many notices warning the public not to consume unattended bottles of Coca-Cola lying around. Owing to the notices and some luck, a 15-year-old boy narrowly escaped death. He actually found a bottle of Coca-Cola at the public telephone located near his family's store one day, and was intending to drink it later on. However, he then caught wind of the police notices, realized that something was wrong, and reported the bottle instead. Unfortunately, a third case of cyanide poisoning still happened in Osaka despite public warnings. A 39-year-old man found a bottle of Coca-Cola at the payphone and drank it. The medical staff managed to save his life, but he committed suicide a day later out of shame. The perpetrator was never caught in the end, and this incident forced Coca-Cola to change their product sealing to make it harder to tamper with. 3. The case of the SOS sign in Daisetsuzan National Park is Hokkaido's largest national park. Daisetsuzan National Park is blessed with beautiful mountains, one of which is Mount Asahidake. However, it is also the home to one of Japan's most chilling unsolved mysteries involving a giant SOS sign, a tape recording, and a skeleton. On 24 July 1989, a helicopter dispatched to find two missing hikers came across a giant SOS sign measuring 4.8 meters by 3 meters. It was made using birchwood and was located 4 kilometers away from the peak of Mount Asahidake. The rescuers ended up finding the two missing hikers, but the duo told the rescuers that they didn't make the SOS sign. A second search was conducted. This time, a skeleton with broken bones and a backpack were found 10 to 30 meters away from the SOS sign. In the bag, there was a tape recorder. In the recording, a man can be heard dragging out the following words: "SOS, help me. I am on the cliff, I can't move. Please lift me up from here." The bag also held a hiker ID belonging to a man named Kenji Iwamura. He went missing about 5 years ago in July 1984, according to a report in the Asahi Shimbun on 1 March 1991. DNA analysis eventually determined that the skeleton belonged to a male with type A blood, thereby solidifying the fact that the skeleton belonged to the missing hiker, who also had type A blood. However, the circumstances that led to his eventual death remain a mystery. 4. The massacre of the Miyazawa family in Setagaya. The Miyazawa family was a family of four, consisting of 44-year-old father Mikio Miyazawa, 41-year-old mother Yasuko Miyazawa, and their two kids, Nina Miyazawa and Rei Miyazawa. On 30th of December 2000, a man climbed a tree outside of the Miyazaki residence and entered the second floor. He strangled the 6-year-old Rei to death, and subsequently murdered his father Mikio with a sashimi knife. The mother and daughter were subsequently killed with the same knife. The killer then stayed in the Miyazawa residence for around 2 to 10 hours. He used the family computer, consumed food and drinks from their refrigerator, and even treated his wounds. He only left when Yasuko's mother arrived. The killer left many traces of DNA which helped police deduce that he's a male about 170 centimeters tall. He's likely of a mixed descent from Asia and Europe, with a 1 in 4 chance of being Korean. However, till today, the killer roams the streets scot-free. The police are offering a reward of up to 20 million yen for any new leads. 5. The murder of a mother and her children in Aichi on 9th of September 2004, a concerned neighbor dialed 119 as a house nearby was on fire. In the house, there were 4 bodies. They belonged to a mother named Kato Toshio, and her 3 children, Kato Yuki, Kato Rina, and Kato Shugo. That day was also Shugo's birthday. His ambition was to become a policeman in the future. Upon seeing streaks of kerosene and unusual damage dealt to the bodies, police suspected foul play and called for an investigation. Autopsy of the bodies revealed that the female bodies were marked with stab wounds, while the male body suffered heavy blows to the head. Investigations revealed that when Toshio's husband called at 11 p.m., everything was still fine. Police also found that the culprit likely brought kerosene, since there was none kept in the household. Sadly, the fire erased any other clues the police could follow up on. The case has remained cold for 17 years and counting. The Aichi police continue to await any new leads. 6. The girl who went missing from Yamanashi campsite on 21st of September 2019. 7 families were camping at the Tsubakaso campground in Doshi village, Yamanashi prefecture. Amongst the 27 campers was a 7-year-old girl named Misaki Ogura, who vanished into thin air sometime between 3:40 p.m. to 4 p.m. that day. She was last seen playing with a group of children, but when the group returned, she wasn't with them. She was wearing a black, long-sleeve shirt and jeans. Intensive searches went on for a few days. On 24th of September 2019, about 60 people and a rescue dog were mobilized. Unfortunately, the search continues till today. Posters requesting for any clues have been placed around the vicinity of the campsite and also shared online.